I guess everybody over 40 or so thinks about cancer, right? And like once you hit 60, you just wonder when it's going to come, because it seems to come for everybody, doesn't it? But now, I was one of those lucky people who never seemed to have anything wrong with me. I'm talking health-wise. You know, of course, in other ways, I had plenty wrong with me. But one day a few months ago, I got what I thought was a stomach ache, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this will be fine. And like an hour later, I was like, this is no ordinary stomach ache. I mean, I was like writhing in pain, I'm screaming, so I called 911, ambulance came, all, you know, big drama. But I get there and they said, you know, you got pancreatitis. And they're like, well, you know, we're going to have to do some more tests. So they gave me a CAT scan and all that. And I didn't even know what a pancreas was. I didn't know where it was located. I didn't know what it did. You know, it was just one of those words you hear. But they put me on morphine because it really hurts. I mean, it really hurts. So my days in the hospital, I was there for a week, and my days were just a blur. I mean, it was a very pleasant blur, but a blur nonetheless. And one day when my sister was visiting me, a doctor came in. They had given me a PET scan when I first got there to make sure it was pancreatitis. I don't know how they tell that stuff. But a doctor came into my room, and he said, they found a mass on your lung. It could be cancerous, so, you know, prepare yourself. I'm like, oh my God. And I remember I looked at my sister and she looked at me, and we both had that same expression on our face, like we had just seen Madonna beat up Cher. You know, it was just astonishment. Now, I never wanted to be one of those people whose whole life revolved around one thing, you know, be it religion or drugs or alcohol or coin collecting, whatever. But it happened. Within a month of my admittance to the hospital, cancer had taken over my entire life. Monday through Friday I had radiation sessions. Wednesdays I had chemotherapy just to, you know, change things up a little bit. Weekends I spent recovering from the week of radiation and chemotherapy, and there was the occasional MRI or PET scan thrown in just for variety. And this went on for weeks on end. And when the doctors were finally satisfied that they'd crushed my tumor, boom, suddenly treatment is over. I'd lost 45 pounds, didn't have a hair on my entire body. I didn't really care though. My head is perfectly shaped, and frankly I could afford to lose a couple of pounds, so I was looking good after that. And when I went to visit my radiation doctor on the last day of treatment, I just broke down in tears right there in the examining room. And they weren't tears of joy. The whole thing was just so confusing to me. I was feeling all these emotions, and none of them were, oh God, I'm so glad that's over. And I still haven't really figured it out. I've given it a lot of time too, but it was kind of a sense of abandonment. Like, all of a sudden I don't have to be somewhere every day with a whole group of people around me trying to make me well. It was like I felt like I'd been put out on a deserted island, you know, with no phone, no lights, no motor car, not a single luxury. And now I'm used to having that open schedule, and there's not a damn thing on my calendar. But I feel like I should be doing something. I was saved from the clutches of cancerous death, you know. I feel like I should be doing something magnanimous, like volunteering at a leper colony or something. The one problem is I have this neuropathy as a kind of side effect of the chemo, and it makes it kind of hard to walk sometimes. So I probably wouldn't be much help there, but I guess I have a little bit more to think about. It's a good thing I have all this free time on my hands.